Welcome to Power Player Lifestyle Magazine. My name is Leela Christine, and we have the amazing Dr. Moshe Lewis, and we have a special guest today. Her name is Angela Gibbs, and she is just hot to trot. She's an actress, a director, a filmmaker, a mother, a grandmother, yes, an artist, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Angela, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I was like, who's she talking about?
Right, who's
Until you said grandma, I'm like,
well.
Hashtag grandma.
That's right.
Hashtag mom.
That's right. G-ma. I'm G-ma.
G-mom. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. I learned something new. When I worked with Angela with the Hollywood
Walk of Fame.
Walk of Fame.
From my mother, Marla Gibbs.
The beautiful
Marla
Gibbs.
And it was
wonderful
nice.
event.
Yes, you hooked us up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was a momentous occasion. And we got to work with your son as well.
Yes.
And it just felt family all the way around.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I love it when you are working hard with people that you enjoy working with.
That's
it
right.
makes it fun.
That's right.
Or less hard, at least.
That's
you
right.
know, yeah. But it was a beautiful time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and just dive right on in.
I hear I'm in for some questions
Well,
here.
good ones. I like to go back. I'm kind of the historian. I like to go back in time. Let's start at the beginning and where you grew up and how you got interested in this business.
In this business?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to streamline it a little bit. But I grew up in Detroit.
Okay.
All right.
And I grew up in a time when Motown was flourishing.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I grew up next door to Levi Stubbs' mother, the leader of the Four Tops' mother.
Yeah.
So I grew up with the grandchildren. We
Yeah.
were all, hanging out. And so we'd see Smokey and different people come through, coming over to visit the mom. Of course, Levi. And so and I bring that up because we all had dreams of being something, larger than who we were, right?
Sure.
We were kids with dreams. As a matter of fact, we had a group called the Montelettes.
Oh, I like this.
And the boys were the Montegos. And my mother at that time was Margaret. She was nowhere near television at that time. She was our manager. And she kept trying to get us to sing songs like Boys from Ipanema. We're like, no.
No, that's not going to work.
That's what we were
Not
singing,
in
though,
Detroit.
because she was the manager.
Right.
We did the YWCA tour and
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
cute.
that.
That's cute.
But anyway, two of the guys who was in the Montegos, they went on to sing with Radio and Ray Parker Jr., Ron Mill, and Coco Carmichael
Jr. Wow.
So they went on.
They did it.
But they moved on to LA, and then not too long after that, we moved to LA. Now, I was in drama I went to Catholic school. So I was in drama in grade school just because I don't know, I just flourished there. I just liked it. And I remember even back then being angry because they wouldn't let me play Scrooge.
Right.
And I was like, I can do better than he can. They were like, but it's a role for a boy. I could play a boy.
Exactly.
Even though I was shy, that was one place I wasn't.
Right. Interesting.
And believe it or not, I really was shy. So we moved out here and I got into drama again. In high school, and then we found a place called PASLA. My mother found it.
Okay.
And PASLA, Performing Arts Society of Los Angeles. That's what it stood for. It was started by a black guy named Bantow Whitfield. As a matter of fact, Lynn Whitfield married him. That's where she got her last name.
Wow. Okay. That's all.
Back then, we all had African names. So his name back then was Motochico. And the guy who played Rollo on Sanford and Son, Nathaniel Taylor, he was Gita Hadi. Oh, wow. He was there. Tadanisha, who was on Room 222, she was there. So a lot of the blacks that were working, Roger Mosley was there. That's where we met him. And I think we paid $2 for a clipboard. And it was on Manchester and Vermont. Ironically, years later, I would open a theater after coming back from college on that same block.
See, that's
so
great.
my mother
Full
and I
circle.
ended up giving back to the very community that started our careers. My mother was in there. So we started acting. And Bantow went on to work at the National Endowment of the Arts, so he left. And the workshop started kind of, floundering a bit. So Roger said, I know of a place in Watts called Mafundi. Why don't you all go down there with me? I did. My mother, I was 16 at the time, 17. We went down there and we got in a play, and a guy named Max Julian came down to see the play. And I was playing Angela Davis, and I was, like I said, 17. And he fell in love because I reminded him of a younger version of his wife at the time, who was the beautiful Vanetta McGee, right? Not Lynette McKee, Vanetta McGee, right? And so he was doing a movie called Cleopatra Jones.
Yes.
He had just gotten it sold.
Yes.
And he wanted Vanetta to play Cleopatra, but they wanted a tall, kind of, woman. And so they hired Tamara Dobson.
Okay.
But he still got some perks. And one of the perks was he could pick a couple of other actors, and he picked me. So now imagine this. I'm like almost about 18 actually, not 17. Because I was working at this store, a little clothing store. I go to lunch, I come back, and the manager says, somebody called you from Warner Brothers and you have a movie. And I thought she was playing.
Right. It was a joke.
I'm like,
right.
And
That's
she's like,
real.
no, really, like, this is the number, call.
Right.
Wow.
And
Sure enough.
they hired me sight unseen.
Wow.
But they asked me to come in. I went in, and they said, we just want to meet you.
Right.
And can you read a line or something?
That's like-
But Max Julian loves you and wants you to play this role. And I got an agent because of Max. And then Roger said, okay, I'm going to give you my agent. And between Roger Mosley and Max Julian, my career started, right?
Wow.
I got in the union.
SAG.
It was just one
that's
SAG.
beautiful.
And so my union card says 1972.
Wow.
Now I've been in this business a lot. So that was the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Tell us about a memorable role that you really felt like, gosh, I've truly arrived.
Okay. It
Your
has to
favorite
be
one.
This Is Us.
This is
There was a storyline that Sterling K. Brown, who is amazing, there was a storyline that his mother had died.
Wow.
She was an addict who cleaned up, carried him, to full term. But then when she had him that night, she wanted to hit.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And then she flatlines.
Wow.
So the father grabs the baby and runs out because he realizes they're going to take the baby. And, the doctors and the paramedics are there. So you think she's gone.
Right.
So you fast forward season 5 and you find out that after he ran off, she came back. They were able to revive her.
Right.
And so she's older now. That's me.
Okay.
So I played Randall's mother. And I died. But I always wanted to find him, right? It's just a heartbreaking story, but there's a moment where he and I are in the water. That's where I used to go and scream. Right. So when he ends up out in the water because he knows that's where I used to go. And I meet him there, but now I'm on the other side.
Wow.
But I meet him there and I help him get rid of all that pain he's been carrying. It was just a beautiful moment. It was, I've always asked for roles that push me, expand me, that scare me, because if we're not scared, like, what are we doing? And maybe scared's not the right word, but there's a quote by Ruby Dee that says, God, make me so uncomfortable that I do the very thing I fear. Right?
I remember that quote.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful quote.
Yeah, and I just love that. Like, if I'm nervous about it, that means I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to do a deep dive. And I remember leaving that job, and oh my God, Sterling was such a generous actor.
Right.
And it was he and I all day. And I remember, and the young sister who played Jennifer C. Holmes, who played the younger version, I loved watching her and learning her and her mannerisms. And she was just a wonderful actor and human being as well. And I remember after shooting, I went home and everybody had been hitting me up like, how did it go? How did it go? Right. I couldn't talk. All I could do was go to bed. I went to bed at 8 o'clock at night. And I didn't wake up till 8 o'clock the next day. I was emotionally drained.
You get so much.
And but I was very proud of that role. And so, but then I didn't know what I had done. So I was like, my agent and I'm a coach. I coach, but I get coached because I don't want to be in my bubble.
Sure.
I want to continue to be pushed and expanded. So they all call like, how did it go? I'm like, I have no idea. And I don't know if I messed up. And, Randall gave me a high five and the director seemed happy. She was, I don't know. I really didn't know. And they said, if you could tell me everything you did, I'd be worried. The fact that you don't know means you were there.
Right.
You are present
in the moment with him.
Let's talk about that as actresses, and especially when you're on screen. Does it take a lot of energy? You know, like once you're on set for maybe 10 hours or 12 hours, it's exhausting once you go home.
Right. It can be, yes.
And some people take it home with them, but do you take it home? Do you just, as soon as you get home, you're like, look, I got to shut it off. I gotta just bring myself back to who I am instead of being in character role.
Yeah. You know, that's a great question, because sometimes and sometimes not. It takes a minute for me sometimes to unwind. I try to put on music and start that unwinding process on the way home. Right. But sometimes I am emotionally exhausted and I don't really want to talk. Right. And even though I live alone, I usually have family there. Right. And they know. And they can tell when I come in, it's like, I got to go lay down, or I need to be still for a minute to get some of that stuff off of me. Yeah. And then sometimes I'm good. I'm good by the time I get home.
We want to know what's hot with you right now, as far as like some of the TV productions, whether you're acting or producing or a combination of both.
Oh my God.
So what's new? What's hot like right now, 2022?
Angela's plate is like blessed right now. She has a full plate. And I'm just like, it's a beautiful plate. Right. You know, I don't want to say it's full in case God want to throw something else on there.
You're okay. You're okay with it. You'll take the blessings.
Away. Sure. You know, but it is pretty.
You're open to receive.
I am not taking on anything else. Sure. Put it like that right now. So there's a show that I'm on that I am really proud of, and it was created and written and directed by a Black woman, Kendra Joe, based on a Black woman's life. And Cedric the Entertainer is one of the producers. We shot it in Atlanta. B. Simone, who another one that has millions of followers, who's just amazing and very generous. She's the star, and I play her mom. Okay. And then Marquita Price plays her cousin. My sister is Kim Cole.
Right. Wow.
Kim Cole. She's the truth. She's the truth. Right. And so she's Marquita's mom. I'm B. Simone's mom. They're cousins. We're sisters. And you know, it's called Finding Happy. And Finding Happy premieres Saturday the 24th at 8.
We're tuning in.
That's right. So please tune in, and it's on Bounce TV.
Right. Exactly.
Finding Happy.
Finding Happy. How do you find your happy?
How do you find your happy in this actual show? I mean,
well, you know, Finding Happy really is about women, young women. I mean, you know, B. Simone's character is really the driving force, and her cousin as well. And then but also as older women, we're still finding our happy.
We are.
And I love that we're not just an appendage, and we're not pushed into a stereotype. Right. We're this age and we're just old and broken down. Right. We still trying to get it on. Right. We still trying to date.
And still have it.
That's right. That's right.
You know, we're the 40 and plus crowd.
That's right. Exactly. But it's about, you know, these young women who are working on having a career, but want to have a life with them. Want to have a family, not being able to find, you know, that man. And is that where your happy is? Is your career where your happy is? Like, where is your happy?
Or can you have the career and the man or the woman, and the kids and the business?
Can you have it all
and travel and just do everything?
And if you have none of it now, can you be happy?
Still,
yes.
Right?
It's true.
Because exactly. Because it really starts within.
Yes.
It really
does.
But
that's deeper.
You know, now we want the outside stimulation and support and validation, all of that. However, it has to start here.
Right.
So we look at that too. But it's funny. It's a comedy. Every time I think about it, I start laughing because Kim is just an absolute
She's
nut.
a riot.
You know, of course, I'm very quiet and sedate.
Really?
Demure, sophisticated.
No. If they could see this right now, they're like, nah.
We don't think so.
My character is written where they say, I am a deaconess. With 1 foot still in spandex.
Wait a minute. Did you say deaconess? What's a deaconess?
No, I'm a deaconess. I'm preaching in the pulpit. But I still like my spandex though.
Okay.
And with heels like
and
that.
stepping out.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, sorry, we didn't say that, did we? It was a family show.
That's right. So that show. And then I have a series now on ABC.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And it's called Not Dead Yet.
Not Dead.
Starring Gina Rodriguez. Sure. You all know her from, you know, 4-Year-Old Virgin, but so many things. Miss Bala. She's a boss.
Okay.
I'm telling you, she's a boss.
Totally.
And I love her. She's the kind that works, in the middle of the day and everyone's kind of, fatigued or whatever. And she's like, I want to just share that I so appreciate all the background because we couldn't do this without you. And I know you guys are being shuffled in and out, but I really want you to know how much we appreciate. I mean, she's that person.
We need you.
She looks out. She's like, wait a minute, before we shoot, Auntie, you got something in your teeth. Right. You know what I mean? She's like, no, I got you, girl. I got you. She straighten your hair? Right. Yeah, no, she looks out. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, all I can say is she writes obituaries. It's based on a book called
Obituary.
The Confessions of a 40-something-year-old F-up.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And, her life didn't really go the way she had hoped. Fiance, all of that went away. She comes back to town. Everybody's doing well but her. Right. She gets this job writing obituaries and ends up getting advice from unlikely sources.
To say the least.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm just like, # obituary.
Yeah.
Writer.
I always say nothing else, but it is so much fun. And I'm like the sage.
Okay.
Kind of a sassy older woman who, come to for advice.
Do you pull some sage out?
No, but I am the sage. I am the sage.
That's right.
I am the sage.
Who needs help too?
That's right.
But it's a lot of fun. The EPs from This Is Us, they are involved and it's just a great team.
Okay.
Production wise, everyone is harmonious.
That's good.
And they created that environment. Right. They said we decided we can have fun and make a good product. Nice. So we're working with people that we enjoy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nothing like working with people you enjoy because it makes the day happy.
That's right. That's right.
We're finding our happy.
Yeah. So that's Casey Johnson and David Windsor, Dean Holland, Mick G. They all have an amazing track record. Right. And so we're just praying that this show goes. It will premiere in January.
Talk about Full Circle.
And what network?
And then that's going to be on ABC.
ABC again. That's right.
That's it.
Right. That's
right. So that's coming out. I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, the premiere on the September 24th of Fine and Happy. Right. Then I'm on a show called Hacks. We just got 17 Emmy nominations. And when we won some. And Gene Smart is like watching a master class. Wow. And I get to play with so Carl plays Marcus and he's her business manager. Yes. And we're always in his house, we being me and Lunell. I get to play with Lunell.
Lunell's fun.
Hilarious.
The two of us together.
Tearing it up.
So, that's right.
Well, we got to have you back because, it's exciting to just know that there is more to the beautiful Angela Gibbs.
Oh, absolutely. Sure.
Because you are the daughter of a very powerful woman.
Yes, I am. That's
Miss
right.
Marla Gibbs. All that good stuff.
Right.
So, did your career get started before her?
Yeah, my career started first.
Okay, everybody.
It started first. And I was revolutionary. It was black I'm black and I'm proud. It was the 70s. And I was like, and the casting couch was there, and I was young, and I was getting hit on, and I just didn't know how to navigate that. Right. But I knew as an older sister that I cared about what my little brothers thought of me. Right. I knew I was a queen back in, at that age because of, we came out of the 60s, and now we're in the 70s. I went to Africa, changed my name to Utamu, and I just decided that right then acting wasn't for me. Wow. So I left. And while I left, my mother was working. I stepped in. Right. We were always auditioning, but I was on TV first, and I had a pilot, and I was on my first.
See, this is the truth here, everybody.
That's right.
This is the real truth. We're wrapping this up, but it's the truth.
My mother was like, "You got a dressing room?" I was, Sanford and Son was my first TV show. Right. Stan Lathan was the director.
Wow.
But anyway, I went away. And she got on television.
Sure. And see, on that note, we're
Florence the Maid.
We're going to say
I wanted to bring up, one little thing though. You, in the midst of all that, started writing in a little play, 227.
Yes, yeah. So let me tell you what happened. Yes. I didn't write it. That was written by Christine Houston. Okay. Air Cambridge brought it to me and said, talk your mother into doing this play. My mother was busy. Sure. She was doing the Jeffersons and she was trying to run a club. And I was like, please, baby, please, baby, please. And she didn't want to do it at first. I said, well, just do it for a couple of weekends. Sure. She got in that play. Loved it. Brought in, Betty Bridges brought in Regina King.
Yes.
Hal Williams, my mother called in because with her name, other actors would come.
Yes.
That play was a hit.
Yes.
Wow.
And Norman Lear heard about it and came on down. Brandon Tartikoff, who was alive then, came on down.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
See, we're gonna have to have your mom on.
Yeah, we got to bring her. Absolutely.
Bring her.
Absolutely.
This is
Love
good.
to. No.
Well, thank
Such
you.
a pleasure.
Thank
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you for being a part of the Power Player Lifestyle Moment because you're a power player.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, I didn't know
Elegance,
that.
your style.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
I guess I have learned through my kids. They're like, you got it going on. I'm like, I guess I do. You do. Yeah,
I'm a G-Ma, one of the originals.
But thank you for having me on.
No,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. And we appreciate it. It's a wrap.